All right. The mic is hot.
Oh, yeah. See, look, I'm not the only one that makes puns. Okay.
Anyway, welcome to Ultra Chen TV. I'm Ultra David.
I'm James Chen.
Mikey, XsK Samurai.
That's right. So we have him on here because you were at the ESL thing earlier today, and you were supposed to fly home after that.
Yep.
And what happened?
My flight got delayed again. So now I leave at 12 a.m. almost.
How many times today have your flights been delayed?
1, 2, 3, 5.
5 times.
Yep.
It's been a tough day. So we brought him on here to try to make his day even worse. And we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
We will talk about these things.
Yes.
The Nintendo Switch, the Red Bull, and more. That is to say, other tournament results. We'll talk about other events as well. I guess that's kind of redundant. We'll talk about community stuff. And since in reality, we don't have anything to talk about at all, we'll do a bunch of the stuff on the far left there, which is questions and answers.
Depending on how much time. We do have to get him to the airport, so, we'll try to get him there at a decent time. So depending on how much time we have left towards the end. But again, if you guys didn't get a chance to see the ESL King of the Hill earlier today, you got to play against Ian Sanity for the right to play against Christatarian, which you did beat Ian Sanity and you fought Christatarian. If you didn't see the matches, you messed up.
Very good.
Matches were super good. I mean, spoiler alert, I'm just going to spoil it. You were set against Christatarian, 19 games, down to the last round. So literally, it was 9-9, the 19th game, all the way down to the last round. So
it was really good. Highly recommended watching. You can check it out next week and the week after that, too. And 2 weeks ago, on twitch.tv/ESL.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the thing happened. So the archive is probably there too. Yeah, it was really great.
Darn straight, ZXC, you did mess up then, because you didn't see it.
Yes, you did. You did. So let's talk about this Switch. Okay,
This has nothing to do with fighting games, but this is just because we are gamers, right? And
like I said, we have nothing to talk about.
It's a new console, and I'm just curious, what your take on it was. Like, when you saw it, like, what did you guys think? Did you even see the trailer for the Nintendo Switch?
I did. I saw it, and pretty much what I thought was they took the Wii U, and they cut it in half. And they cut it into parts.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much exactly how it looks.
Exactly. And it's like, what?
Like if you look at the Wii gamepad,
Exactly.
they just cut off the sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
It exactly looks like that. I mean, whatever. So it's the thing where you can use it. You take off the little things on the side, and each person can play with a tiny little, extremely uncomfortable looking controller.
Or you can slide it on a gamepad thing.
So the gamepad itself, I thought looked fine, but then all the other ways of controlling it looked terrible to me. You could use it as the Wii gamepad style.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other one that was like a configuration, and I forget what it was now. Yeah, the little tiny one was
Dude,
horrible.
So look, I'm obviously way too obsessed.
The
with
Pro Controller fine, but like the rest of it looked awful.
I'm way too obsessed with this concept. But the thing that I thought looked super cool about it was, and we talked about this when we talked about Nintendo NX rumors, right? So like you could take the monitor and put it on your treadmill at the gym, and now you have 2 controllers which are not connected by anything, nowhere in each hand, and you can run and play video games.
James, you may have just salvaged this entire operation for me.
Because I have dreamt about playing Tetris on the treadmill my whole entire life. So you can just do it like this. You can play it like this now.
Well, here's the thing. What about the battery life?
That's the biggest question.
We don't know that yet.
That is the biggest
We don't know that yet. The Wii gamepad had a really good battery life, actually.
Oh, it did?
It did. It did. The Wii U one, anyway. Yeah, because when I go to the gym, I bring a little thing, right? I'm playing video games on my piece of crap here. And I'm playing, like, Hearthstone and, like, mobile whatever, some
You're lifting? You're just like, yeah.
No, if I'm on, like, a treadmill or something.
Okay.
But if I can play instead, like, an actual video game, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm suddenly all about this. 10 minutes ago, I came into here, and when James wanted to talk about the Switch, I was just gonna go for 10 minutes straight. But now I'm in there.
See, well, because the other cool thing about it, honestly, is it's also kind of a portable console, right? So the nice thing about it is when you bring it with you, you're playing the actual game. You don't have to worry about saves anywhere. It's always just going to be, so if you're on the plane and you're playing it. And if you're at home playing it, it's all into one console. So
There was a little part in the trailer when they were playing basketball. They had two little, I think, Wii consoles.
Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
facing
Maybe
each
there's
other, right?
Wi-Fi, yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Wi-Fi.
There must be some connectivity there.
Yeah,
There must be something
Dude,
going on.
one thing I will say about that Nintendo NX trailer, every person that was in that trailer was far too attractive. They were like all like that.
He
that
would notice
metro. That metro.
would-
Yeah.
It's
He's
like
like, man,
that
that
whole.
I don't know.
He has an extra-
Look, yeah, I don't know, James. I think Mikey and I felt right at home among those
Yeah.
people on that commercial. I think that was perfectly normal. No, but they were adults. That was interesting. I saw somebody right. Well, no, but I mean, seriously, for
Yeah.
Nintendo,
Uh-huh.
Nintendo tends to market to kids, but in that trailer, they were almost all, or maybe all adults.
Yeah, they were like marketing to like that young adult college, kind of like just out of college kind of demographic.
And they also had a scene for esports too.
They did have a
Yes,
scene
and
for
that-
esports.
That was the most interesting part from our perspective, right? Except the weird part was they just didn't show Smash. They showed Splatoon.
I think what they were doing was they're trying to push Splatoon out
Yeah.
there because it's not that popular. I don't know.
It was a really popular game for a while, and I know
In
in Japan,
Japan it's
in
popular,
Japan it did
yeah.
extremely well.
Okay.
But yeah, certainly in the U.S., Splatoon esports is like not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be great if it could be. Look, I have the same concerns everybody else does. How are the graphics going to be? Is the frame rate going to be terrible?
Right.
Like, how viable is it to play Splatoon on a little bean?
A little-
Just like, you're like, you know how people like write names on a grain of rice? Have you ever seen that? You're like,
Now you're making it sound like those. Like there's this whole series of videos on YouTube that's obsessed with like making the
Tiny-
small,
I
the
love
tiniest
those
food.
videos.
Oh, you
Yeah,
love those?
I
See,
love those videos.
Like they're like here's the tiniest taco, and like they make the
Yeah.
tiniest taco.
Tiniest steak. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So the
It's
the
fun. It's
Nintendo
just
NX
fun.
controllers are
okay,
all
that's
about
cool.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what the controllers are meant
I
to
mean,
do.
look, I like Splatoon. I think Splatoon's a great game. I think
Same.
it would be super cool if Splatoon could. When Splatoon first came out, I was like, "Oh, Ink Sports, let's do this!"
Yeah.
Right? And it never happened. But I don't know. It's be interesting if they can push it. To be honest with you, and interestingly enough, so even though we were on King of the Hill today, I was also on Yahoo's Tilted
Okay.
with Bizarro Mike.
Really?
And
Oh.
yeah, we talked about this a little bit on there. The VOD's gonna go up at some point where I'll tweet that out when that goes up. But one of the things that I did mention though is that one of the reasons why I feel like they're not pushing Smash in that, like they could have showed like Smash 4,
Really?
right?
Yeah,
Like a
they
port
will.
of Smash
yeah.
4, right? But is it a licensing issue? Because like if they want to go esports with it, you've got Bayonetta, you've got Sonic the Hedgehog, you've got Pac-Man, you've got Ryu,
Oh.
you've got all these characters. So in order for them to go, they have to probably rewrite contracts about the games with all these other
Right.
companies.
Well, they've run tournaments before.
Has Nintendo?
Yeah, Nintendo, or at least showed the game publicly. Like they had that launch event
The
where they
E3
had
event,
the
right.
E3 event.
It could have been a thing where like, oh, you're showing Marth, you're showing Sheik. What about my Sonic? What about my
Yeah.
Pac-Man?
I'm just wondering if
So-
there's gonna be any sort of licensing issues or anything like that. Whereas Splatoon is like it's all Nintendo owned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they can do
That
whatever
makes
they
sense.
want
That
with
makes
it.
sense.
So
Right. Yeah. Anyway,
I like how in the chat it's literally like Smash 4 is supposed to go to the Switch, and then maybe Smash won't be on the Switch. Like, but
well, I guess you never know. I mean, it's going to be a new console, and I don't know if it's going to have
I gotta
backwards compatibility or not.
I gotta imagine the
it's
hardware.
cartridge. Keep in mind.
Yeah, that's right. It is
Oh.
cartridge. It's gonna be like
Cartridges.
it looks like little, like 3DS cartridges.
The game-
Like,
yeah, the
yeah,
Game
the
Boy.
little small games like
Yeah.
that. So that'll be interesting to see how it works. But
Crazy how it's been like what? When was the Wii U released?
I don't know, five years ago maybe.
5 years ago, and then the PS4 released 7 years ago, and there's already another console for that one.
The
Was
PS4
PS4 is that old?
No,
No,
PS4 is
PS4
like
is-
2 years ago,
Is it like 2 years ago?
3 years ago.
yeah,
not
it's
that
not
long.
that. It's not
I
that
thought it
long.
was. See, my friend said it was 7 years ago. Shame
7
on you.
years?
He lied.
Shame on
He
you.
lied.
No
He
way.
lied.
He was like,
yeah.
that's what I was saying. I was
7
like,
years
wait a
ago. Come on,
minute, man. Okay, don't trust.
Like, don't you remember when SF4 was first ported to the PS4?
Exactly.
That was like in living memory.
Wait, are we just like confusing our timelines right now?
Definitely.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. Anyway, whatever, guys. Whatever. PS3 was
PS3 was 7 years ago. Wrong one whole console behind.
So apparently they specifically said that the premier games that were on the Wii U would be made for the Switch. I'm going to quote you as my official source on this, Z Chrono X.
And so if he's wrong, then we can all blame him.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The Switch is probably not going to be too impactful when it comes to most of the FGC. If it has Smash on it, then that's really cool. It's cool to play a game that's, that you can play anywhere. You can with Smash 4 on the DS, on 3DS,
Right.
but that's it's really
Well,
not the same, yeah.
You know what everybody said, how it could impact the FGC very strongly, is if they ported Melty Blood on it. Because they're already playing their tournaments in parking lots and stuff like that, right? So,
What I hope is that they wouldn't actively
that a
port
joke?
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is a
Oh
joke.
my gosh. I was like,
Sorry,
wait a minute.
you're gonna have to get used to it. No, because they did. They literally played
I
a
know
grand
nothing.
finals in a parking lot
Yeah.
one time. That's like an
Right.
insane.
So wasn't that like this year, last
It was
year?
like last
This
year
is
or
how much I
something.
know about multiplayer. I thought it was on the Wii U. It's not on the Wii U.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
on
Yeah,
the
okay.
Wii U. No, but what I hope is that somebody will just hack into this thing and put Melty Blood on there, because that seems much more appropriate to me than actually selling the game
Yeah, I know,
for
right? Yeah.
the Switch.
Well, then you have another Project M kind of style thing where they get.
Yeah,
Shut-
except, I mean, nobody's going to bug the 10 people entering
Oh
Melty.
wow.
Damn.
10 people.
Damn. Okay.
That's true, that it does, the partners for the Switch included some big companies, even some big fighting game companies.
Well,
companies that make, among other things,
yeah.
fighting games. Who knows if the FGC stuff is coming to
But
the
I mean,
Switch.
some of the footage in that trailer was of Dark Souls, wasn't it? Or was it?
Really?
I don't know. It was like some bow and arrow shooting a dragon. I wasn't even sure if it.
Zelda?
Well, I mean.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was probably
isn't it
Zelda.
like-
No, it wasn't a Zelda game because it was literally one of
what?
those games where you see the. Oh, so it couldn't have been Dark Souls because it was just a hand. So it was. I don't remember.
It was like a new
Heretic, maybe?
some kind
I
of
don't remember what it is. So.
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
okay.
Skyrim.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what it is. Okay.
Zelda.
I don't know why I thought it was Heretic. That'd be cool though.
Everybody's just like jeez.
Dude, this is a common theme in the chat on the Ultra Chen TV show, which is James,
Oh,
and
no.
then the face palm face here, which is Failfish. Yes, that's it. So.
You cash your James.
Anything else to say about the Nintendo Switch and its impact on the fighting game community? About as attenuated as the topic gets.
I mean, it would be interesting to see. I mean, because obviously, if it was a fighting game, the biggest problem would be obviously controls, right? Because you'd be playing on this weird thing. Or
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
fact that there's that Pro controller gives me hope that there will be other controllers
Yeah,
available for it as well. But you never know.
and that Pro controller isn't the best.
Right.
It really isn't. The
Right,
best.
right. Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, we. Can
I'm
talk
definitely
about-
not playing on the beans. I can tell you that. I'm never gonna do that.
Little beans. Oh my gosh.
I wonder, like, what someone. I'm just trying to figure out because there's no way to make the buttons bigger or anything like that. Because I'm just trying to think of a way to make it so that, like, if you plug it into a controller, maybe you could have. You know what someone's gonna build? Someone's gonna build something that's like mechanical, like a shell pad that you slide the beans in, and then you hit them, and then it'll.
He's
hit
going
the
way
beans
too far
for
with
you.
this.
and-
I like that
He's going to.
they're officially called the beans now, by the way.
Dude, look! I called the analog controller. I always called it the mushroom stick, right?
Really?
Because like on the in the Nintendo 64, it looked like a mushroom. So I always call it the mushroom stick, and then I always called the D-pad the digital pad, and everyone makes fun of me for that too.
I think the first D-pad was analog.
Is it analog?
I believe it was.
Oh, I thought it was only digital. Like it's only on or off, right? It's only left
No,
or right.
I think
it's
that-
supposed to be directional pad.
Yeah, it is directional.
But I just always called it. See, this is what I mean. Like everyone.
Look, on the other hand, you could
Mushrooms.
make the beans extra big. Like I don't see why they
Okay,
need to be only so big. Why don't you just make them like very like third-party beans that are like very
So
wide?
they'd be called the magic beans,
Look,
right?
you could just
So.
instead of having them only be here, you could just make them like big old giant ones. Why not?
So guys, this is my first time here in Ultra Chen TV, and this is by far the weirdest discussion I've ever on a podcast. Like
Bean
and
XL.
mushrooms. Beans and mushrooms. Like, are we making something? Like,
Oh man, at least it was the mushroom stick, not the mushroom tip.
Alright, let's move on to the next topic.
let's move on,
Okay,
let's
so
move on,
move on.
let's
It's like, okay, so this weekend we had
I'm
some...
turning the same color as my shirt.
Okay, so we had some cool events this weekend.
Yeah.
We had the Red Bull Proving Grounds finals that took place. This is after months of different cities. I don't even know why I look at the chat.
No, I'm just laughing at the joke that you made me tell.
So for a few months now, 6 different cities have been running events, and for winning the different events, you end up with points and such. And the top 3 from 5 of the cities, which were Chicago, Seattle, Atlanta,
LA.
Philly, and LA, and 1 from Toronto. So they only got 1 spot.
Okay.
But the 5 cities sent 3 players, and Toronto sent 1 for 16 players total. And they all gathered this past weekend here in Santa Monica, like literally 3 minutes away from here, which was like the greatest tournament ever because I was able just to go home, and I would like, oh, the tournament, I need to be there by noon. Let me leave my home at 11:50.
It's pretty sweet.
You know what region didn't get represented? It was Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
And Florida was very, I guess, vocal about that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Hopefully in the future they will do it again, and there'll be...
They definitely talked about next year expanding it to more cities and maybe doing like 32 or something like
because
that.
They have some strong players.
They do definitely have some
yeah.
strong players.
Florida's strong. Texas is especially strong. And they even
the
said...
whole eastern seaboard, other than Philadelphia,
Yeah.
was the only city. New York wasn't even represented technically,
Yeah.
although the
Right.
people who won it were New York.
Right.
But,
And they also told us too that, to encourage people to tweet with the hashtag Red Bull Proving Grounds and be like, our city is good. Here's why our city should be included in like
Fresno, right? Yeah, Fresno. No?
Well, look, I mean, not even NorCal was represented. Rom got there because he technically won
had to
through
go,
SoCal.
yeah.
Yeah, so there were plenty of areas that were not repped.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully next time if there's next time, hopefully they will have more cities.
Yeah, and people, of course, if they don't know, SoCal, NorCal is 6 hours apart, right? So everyone's always like, oh, but you're one state. Why would you get 2?
Yeah,
because those 2 parts are farther apart than like
Yeah.
most eastern states. I mean, look, so you're in Central California. You're in Fresno, right? How long does it take you to drive to NorCal?
2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours.
All right. How long does it take you to drive to SoCal?
4 hours without traffic.
See,
it depends.
He's in between us, and this is the situation
Yeah.
that we're in right now. So
It's a big place. Well, it'd be nice if more spots were repped, but I like that they did. It's good that it wasn't like NorCal and SoCal the first time. I would rather have it be more far flung with Seattle in there, Chicago in there. I felt like it was good that it wasn't, one particular part of the country got represented, and then Philly and New York, something like that. I like the fact that they just spread it around to the extent that they had to.
I mean, the Philadelphia qualifiers were New York, and Jersey. Like those were the Philadelphia qualifiers, right? So people definitely traveled to get to these things. So.
Right.
But it was really cool, and I really like what they did. I like that they did that, and then I think one of the reasons why they chose the cities that they did is because they wanted to work with existing TOs. So they got Level Up to run the LA one. They got Big E to run the Philly one. They got Shin Blanca to run the Atlanta one. So it was really cool that they got the standard groups. And so I feel like if they expand to smaller scenes and such next year and help promote them and give them play and everything like that, I think I really like what this event is trying to do.
And it gave out sort of a voice, an image for the players that play online a lot. You see Terrence, I played him online a lot. Mike and Ike.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He's very strong. Ice Effect, super strong.
Right.
Yeah.
It gives them that image, like, I can actually compete.
Yeah.
It's like a satellite, for poker players.
And
for sure.
The only problem with it, to be honest with you, is that the scoring structure was kind of weird, right? Because I mean, obviously the individual events, like Vanguard and whatever the other. See, I just didn't like the fact that they were all these weird different names. I also don't like Proving Grounds and Battlegrounds, but that's a whole.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing.
Like it should have been like. It should have been like the Red Bull mini boss and the Red Bull main boss, because like it gives you the idea. The mushrooms.
Take a mushroom and you get big.
Get out of here.
Get to the big one.
Get out of here.
Well, here's the thing. Chris G won, right?
But
he won a spot to qualify
Yep.
in the 512 man bracket. I believe.
So
right?
does he win a spot in the last chance qualifiers, or does he win
That's
a
what
spot
I
in that
thought.
top 16?
That's what I thought too.
So,
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm not.
okay.
I'm still
Like-
not sure. Even after actually working at this event, I am still not entirely clear on
Right.
what it
I'm
was
in
for.
the finals. I don't even know if I'm gonna be there. Like, am I even in there? Like what? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely not as simple as it could be.
yeah.
Right.
But I like that Red Bull's getting involved, and I like that. I feel like
Absolutely.
it's nice that what they really care about is highlighting the grassroots and giving more of a chance to players like people you mentioned
Yeah. Absolutely.
to get in there. It's not about like Red Bull dominating things. It's about them trying to give a place to show off people who otherwise wouldn't get shown off.
And it's great because you see those players excel. They might not be the best players in the city, or they might not be the best players in the country, but other players will see that and they'll be like, "Oh, I can do that too."
Right.
That's
So
true.
it's great.
And,
That's true.
And not only that too, because like I talked to Ice Effect, right? So he got second place at Wednesday Night Fights, and then he went 0-2. And after he lost the second match at Red Bull Proving Grounds, I mean, the guy was visibly devastated, and he's a young guy too.
Very talented too.
And he's very talented.
Agreed.
But you know what? I mean, people don't understand when you play in that kind of environment. It's scary. Like when you're playing at Wednesday Night Fights, it can be kind of scary, but it's like, hey, you know, whatever. This is this cool building or whatever. Then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, no, the venue is nice. The venue is nice.
Yeah.
You
It's a cool building.
Yeah. But like when you're at Red Bull and you know $5,000 is on the line and all.
Right.
And
Oh, was it
there's
$5,000?
Yeah,
There
or
were, yeah.
$2,000.
Oh, it's got $2,000.
Yeah. So it changes a lot of stuff, especially if you've never played in that kind of pressure, right? And you know, he's a young guy too, and so I talked with him afterwards. You know, made sure that he was okay, and just let him know that like the fact that you made it out there, one, proves that you're really good because you had to win all those weeks to get
Absolutely,
there, and two, you got to showcase yourself. And yeah, you went 0-2, but like when you go to your first big event, yeah, okay, there's gonna be the rare Commander Jesse who goes to ESL and gets like top 8. Okay, that can happen, but for the most part, when you go to your first big event like that, regardless of how good you are, you're gonna have nerves. You're gonna do kind of badly or whatever like that. The only way to get better at that is by going to those events.
Over and over again.
Right. So the fact that he went there and was highlighted, and we got to learn about him and stuff, it's just like it's such an important step for him. You know what I mean? Regardless of going 0-2, I think it's just a big thing for him. And now he has that experience. Now next time he's in that position, he'd be like, yo, I'm not going to go 0-2 again. You know, screw this. I am going to beat these people up.
And it's like saying I went 0-2 in Canada Cup last year.
Mm-hmm,
There's like so many good players, you know.
Wait, did you go 0-2 in KotH?
I didn't even show up.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm sorry, Capcom Cup. Capcom Cup.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
man-
Oh, yeah,
Going
yeah.
0-2.
Different story. Yeah.
Different story.
Dude, some of the best players went 0-2. It was
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Didn't
It was
Justin-
silly.
Justin? No.
No, he won
I
a
think
couple
he won
of games.
a couple.
No.
But like Gustavo went 0. Did he go 0-2?
I don't
think he
remember.
did.
But
I think
even
he
some
did,
of the
and he was the one who gave Kazunoko the hardest match.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think
Dude,
he
there
did
was
go
even
0-2
some
after
of the,
that.
some of the Japanese players went 0-2,
They went
like they
0-2.
shouldn't have gone 0-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't Momochi go like 1-2 or something like that?
Yeah, he actually
Mm.
he
It was
won his-
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, it
So-
was crazy. So I mean, it's.
Justin did go 0-2?
Oh, that's right. Nemo, Bonchan, and Justin all
Yeah.
went 0-2.
Right. Nemo and Bonchan were big surprises.
Because Bonchan was a big deal.
Yeah,
Remember,
Bonchan,
he was
oh my
doing
gosh,
amazing.
I love this
all
guy.
year.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so, you know, that's the thing, right? It's important to understand the opportunity that you got from that kind of event. And so I was really happy with what Red Bull Red Bull Proving Grounds did for a lot of those scenes.
What were the results?
The results,
You got 'em?
I do have them. Let's do this really quick. All right, let's do this and go
These
here.
little sound effects.
Yeah,
You
very
are gonna
important.
be you're gonna be split in half, Mikey. There you go. So you're on
No.
2 screens here.
Oh,
And
sick
then
background.
I have to do. Oh, I forgot to change that from last week too. Usually I change.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, I mean,
I-
I
Is
that
recognize it
Bustling
as the
Side
same
Street?
background I watched
Yeah.
last.
it's from a Neo Geo fighting game. I don't remember exactly which one though right now. Hang on a second. Let me change this over to. Let's see here. There we
XsK
go.
has a chance to go 0 or to not go into this year. Go XsK. All right.
Go XsK.
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank
mean you're in there right now for Capcom
For now,
Cup if it
for now.
starts, but Canada Cup is going to change a lot, and
Yeah.
depending on how people place, so that's going to be kind of interesting.
Oh, there's the top 8.
Yep. So here we go. Let's just go over the whole thing
Sure.
because obviously everybody was in there. So tied for 13th place was Ice Effect, Squall, Dre Gamesta, and Terrence. I mean, unfortunately, those are all 3 Atlanta players are down there. So they obviously did not have a great showing. But again, it was just one. I mean, everyone was saying like, oh, Atlanta's more known for Tekken. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, these players are good. Like you said, you've played Terrence online. You know he's a good player.
I played Ice Effect offline.
I played Dre Gamesta a bunch at the event. He was super good. I mean, I couldn't beat him, right? So, like, I know that doesn't mean much.
I wasn't laughing.
I mean, I was laughing.
I also laughed.
Sorry, James. I was.
Why do we have... Wait.
I didn't... I mean, he beat me more than I beat him, but I beat him a lot too, so...
Okay.
Any case, you know...
It's like 2 against 1.
It's cool
This is the best show ever.
it's cool to represent. Anyways, 9th place, Filipino Man, GLB, Kyle P, and Rom. So even the LA representatives here, you see, right? The 2 of them down here. Granted, the other one won, but you know.
Yeah.
But 7th place, tied for 7th place, was JLMN with M Bison.
He did some good stuff.
He
I was
did.
really impressed.
He
I was
did.
really
It was like,
impressed.
wow.
I liked some of his movement. It was cool.
Yeah. And then TS Sabin with Dalsum. 5th place, Van, the never say die kid, the comeback kid.
He was down 0-2 at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
The cool kid 93, who also played super well.
And I believe his wife was there, right?
Fiance.
Fiance. She was super cheerful for him. That's
She was awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was so
Cheerful's a
loud.
great way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. No, I mean seriously, like everyone was sitting there, like, I need to find someone. Like you know, it's like someone who can support
Let
you
me
this
find-
much.
Like
and
the security guards came over from the other side of the
Oh, no
building
way?
and watched.
Oh.
She was making a lot of noise. They're like, "What's going on?"
right.
They came over and watched because
That's
of
awesome.
that.
Dude, and the best part about it too is when when the cool kid finally got eliminated. Who eliminated him? It was Dominion
Yeah,
eliminated
it was
him.
very close to.
Like
he
it's
dropped the combo.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
swear everybody in the room was like, that mother Dominion. Like everyone was like mad because like she was like cheering, and then when he lost, you could just see her, and she was like, "That's right, baby, you did your thing," and like everyone was just like, "Man, screw Dominion, that jerk! Look what he did! Look what he did!" So I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
it was super cool. It was super cool. So shout outs to her. Shout outs to her for sure. 4th place, Nightmare 2450.
Yeah, good old.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
pop
He was
off.
riling himself up.
The pop off. 3rd place, GTG Mike and Ike 12, who played super good with Laura.
Super good the first day, and then had not the best day the second day.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
I
is
like
understandable.
his Laura style though.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not as wild and crazy as some. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He was very V reversal happy.
Yeah,
Kinda
he
like-
used that a lot rather than
Yeah.
trigger.
The way
yeah.
I play against him is like super slow because he just like
Makes
waits.
sense. Yeah, I can see
waits.
that.
I mean, it was really similar how you were playing against Chris T today. You just spent all your V meter on reversals.
Get off me.
Yeah, you're like, boom, he blocked it, whatever, do another one.
No, it's nice too.
Yeah.
Don't lift that, please.
And then, of course, grand finals came down to Chris G and Dominion.
Yeah, and that was
Representing Philly and LA, technically really New York versus New York. So New York definitely had the strongest showing, you know, in a way.
What'd you think about that set, that grand finals?
that was beautiful because you saw adaptation after adaptation. It was like 1 second left on the clock, 10 seconds left on the clock. I gotta make a move. It's like very classic Street Fighter-ish. I loved it. It was beautiful.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought that was one of my favorite sets so far in Street Fighter 5.
And it was last match.
It was definitely last.
Last match.
No,
It was 2-2.
it was 3. I know he
It
won
was
at
3-2.
3-1. I think he won. It was
I thought it was
0-3.
3-2.
I thought it was 3-2.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh.
3-2 and then 3-2 again.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because it was like
Grand
I was
finals.
like
Oh
stuck.
yeah, it was 3-2 and 3-1.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what it is.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay.
Okay,
There you go.
there
There you go.
So
Yeah, it was really good. Really impressive.
I loved that match. It
And-
was so fun to watch because it's not Street Fighter 5 what we're used to seeing people lose 40% life like from a Ken or a Mika mix up or something. It was literally like one hit.
Poison,
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's a testament to Chris G's patience. Justin has always told me that he has very good patience. And so does Dominion. So it's like, okay, who's more patient? And then Dominion started jumping and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Dominion jumped in.
I know.
Like, what?
But
So
it
crazy.
was a cool event, and again, shout out to Red Bull for doing this kind of event, getting people from cities that are not as well known, getting players that we didn't know. And yeah, I mean, right after it was done, I tweeted out all of their Twitters, except for the 2 people who don't have it, which was the funniest comment too. It was JLMN and GLB don't have Twitters.
They
right?
actually do, but I just don't know what they
Oh, really? Okay, because I was looking at the Red Bull Proving Ground, the Red Bull Esports tweets, and every time they tweeted them, they didn't have any. Okay. And the funniest thing is, I was like, get JLMN and GLB, like some Twitter, right? Yeah. And then Filipino Man responds, he's like, you notice that GLMN and GLB and JLMN were like the 2 happiest people there, and like nothing ever seemed to bother them? And I was like,
Twitter causes problems, huh?
Oh, man. All right. Well, that was that event there. Also, this weekend was the FV Cup. Just open this in a new tab, please. Here we go. So this was Asia, Oceania region. And again, a lot of good players there. So I mean, if we go through this whole entire thing, you can see that Razor Gak and Oil King in 9th.
You know what I see that kind of stands out? Marn. I see Marn at 5th place.
I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He doesn't travel or practice that much. But
you know what? He's a good player in 2 out of 3. I'm gonna say right now.
Wow.
2 out of 3. Marn, you heard me.
You think if there's a 1st to 10, if he came on the
first,
ESL?
We played 1st to 10.
Well, that has happened?
Times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
What happened?
Oh, I killed him.
Oh, you killed him?
I killed him, yeah.
Did he get 2 or 3 or what?
Oh, he got a couple.
A couple.
No. It was close. No, I'm just kidding.
Former Evo champ, Marn.
Is he Evo champ?
Yeah, he won Evo.
Tatsunoko?
Yes. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Yeah.
Well, who played that game?
Totally counts.
Dang. Did you say who plays that game?
I was talking about multiplayer.
Top 8.
Oh, okay.
Top 8 XsK Sonic and top 8 Keats.
Okay.
That's right.
And Justin Wong.
Justin Wong was in there. Who did he beat in grand finals? Was I forgot his name, but he used one of the giants. Any case.
Anyway.
FV Cup, 7th place.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, do you remember the name?
It was K-Beast.
K-Beast, of course. Yes, that's
yeah.
what it was. Yeah. Okay. I remember it was a NorCal player. Yeah. Okay. So 7th place was T4444 and Seed SKZ. 5th place, as you mentioned, Marn. And RB Bonchan.
He's really figuring out SF5 now. It's nice to see.
Yeah. It's
the last few months have been much better for him.
It's worked better since he switched to Nash.
Yeah.
Like, he tried Ryu because he was like, oh, I'm a Sagat player.
He was a very good Ryu player, too.
You thought so?
I thought so.
I never felt like he enjoyed it, or he always seemed like he was missing something, even though he's like a competent player, of course.
Very.
But he just didn't seem like he was into it. Now he looks like he is.
Yeah, it makes me sad when he doesn't win.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's really cool.
He's so good.
He's a cool dude.
So good.
4th place, Udio's Yukadon with Nash. 3rd place, Human Bomb getting up there. He's like the best player nobody talks about.
Human Bomb is super good.
It's weird because like every time he shows up at a tournament, like no one talks about him, and then he's always like in top 4. Like
he also was a top 8 finisher at Evo.
That's right. Yeah, he was top 8. Human Bomb with Chun-Li. 2nd place, Kazunoko with Cammy. And 1st place, Horisako with Chun-Li. So this was a ranking event. So he doesn't automatically qualify, but this put him in the spot that he is currently qualified.
He's qualified right now.
He could still be knocked out, but the chances are very low.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you guys watched the match with Infiltration versus Sako, but Sako got tore up. He got beat up pretty bad. At Evo, I'm sorry.
Okay.
He got torn pretty. It was 2-0 flat.
Really? Okay.
And then they played, I believe it was Southeast Asia Majors.
Oh,
and
okay.
Sako beat him 2-0
Yeah,
flat.
right.
And then now he's picking it up super.
Sako's
Sako's
ridiculous.
so good.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So
He's got a good character for himself.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy for him.
Someone actually said Chun actually won something, and it's true. Like,
yeah, as good as she is, she hasn't had as much success as some other characters.
She has the problem that Vanilla Sagat had. You know what I mean? Which is like, for some reason, the top players like don't want to use her. You know what I mean? Like Infiltration doesn't use her, Kazunoko doesn't use her. Like even in the U.S., like Justin won't use her. You know, it's like
and it was kind of like Yun back in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
I think Kazunoko was the only one that won consistently with him.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And then he won the big thing.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Even though everyone was like, Yun is the best and
Yeah,
most
Yun's the
broken
best.
character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so there are 3 Chuns in this top 8.
Yeah, you're right.
There are also 2 Cammies and 2 Nashes.
I mean, at this point in time, like Cammy, I just think it's ridiculous. I think she's so
Cammy's
stupidly
very
good.
good.
She's super strong.
Wait,
she's super
didn't you
good.
say that she was really boring at the beginning?
She is really boring. I still think
You
she's
think
kind
she's
of
boring?
boring. I still think she's kind of
The
boring.
more the game goes on, the more I think she's not boring because I see the differences in how people use her.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that a character allows for like the expressiveness of like Pumko going totally wild,
Yeah.
or
oh,
for
man.
Xiaohai kind of in the middle. Kazunoko's like a little bit more offensive. Like they're different styles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, and K-Brad. Don't forget about
And
K-Brad.
K-Brad,
Oh,
very,
yeah, who was
very
he-
grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, K-Brad is way
Very
more footsie
footsies.
oriented.
Yeah, those are really different
Cool.
styles.
His offense is ridiculous.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
offense is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really opened up Cammy was that whole stand light kick game. Like, I feel like the stand light kick game.
Yeah, what is it? Is it +1?
It's like +1 or so, but the thing about it, stand light kick, which can lead into a throw, but stand light kick, or stand light kick, crouch light kick. So if you jump back, it hits you in your pre-jump frames automatically. There's just a lot of really powerful things you can do off of it. So it's super good. Yeah, Goichi and MOV are probably the best Chun players to be using Chun right now. The best players to be using Chun, I should say. But yeah, no, this was, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of this. I watched some of it.
Could be.
What's that?
Could be Sako.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sako.
yeah. Actually, you're right. Sako's probably
And
the best one.
Maybe
right
Human Bomb, the best player that nobody talks about.
Yep,
Even though you just mentioned
Here's
that.
the thing. Human Bomb is from China, right?
He lives in Hong Kong.
Oh,
Now,
Okay.
he was from Australia.
So there's another Chinese player named Zhao Hu, who I think practices what the duo TV.
Yeah, I know
guys.
who you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Super good.
With Chun-Li as well?
Super good.
Okay,
So-
okay.
I mean,
Mhm,
Chinese
mhm.
players are super strong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chinese people are just awesome in general, so.
I mean, when you have 1.6 billion of anything, some of them are going to
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. And
You're
then...
going to get the tallest person
And then
in the
when
NBA. Like, it's
and
going to,
then-
like, you're going to get whatever.
When you don't
Why are
have the
we reaching?
decision, if you show any sort of skill in anything, the government kidnaps you from your home and puts you in
Yeah.
camps so that you basically have to learn
Oh,
that and become the
gosh.
best. Yep, you're just gonna have the
Do you think
best.
that's going
in
to
a lot
happen
of
with fighting
things.
games at some point?
Dude, like, what about the story of Xiaohai? Like, he would do bad at fighting games and his dad would, like, spank him or something
Right,
like that,
right.
you know?
Maybe
so.
his dad worked for the government.
Hey, there you go, there you go.
It was an inside job the whole time.
Been training this assassin in fighting games.
Yeah, all right.
All right, and then also was the Capcom Pro Tour Asia online ranking events, which a lot of the top players actually entered into this thing. So this thing was pretty crazy.
Okay.
If you look at like 13th place, Takeuchi is there.
Okay.
In 9th place, we have Nuki, Goichi, RB with Urien.
Interesting.
I didn't know he was using Urien. That makes me super happy.
He's usually the type of player that leans towards a new
I
character.
can see that, yeah.
And he's also really good at
Kinda
using
funky characters.
the funky characters. And Tachikawa with Dalsum in 9th place.
Dang, Yuki. All right.
There was a Ryu player named Panzaman. I don't know where he's from. He did very well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think he
Panzaman.
might be from, I don't know, Middle East? No, I'm sorry. I don't know. But he did really well.
Okay. Well, there was a Fong player named Like White Bread who got 7th place. 5th place was Punko Kami and XYZZY Birdie.
All right.
4th place was Tokido with Ryu. 3rd place was Korea's NL with Ryu.
Very strong.
So 2 Ryus in top 4. 2nd place was Chris Wong with Nash, my high school classmate. No, I'm just kidding. I did have a high school classmate named Chris Wong. So
I think I did too.
did you really? That's
think I
really
did.
funny.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys went to this. No?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I didn't go.
I mean, you would think it would be such a unique name with 1.6 billion Chinese people on the planet.
1.6 billion. Exactly.
Yeah. Wasn't that the number that you said or
yeah,
something?
that's how many people live in China.
Okay. And then first place was MOV with Chun-Li. So 2 Chun-Lis this weekend.
So, one person that I want to speak about is NL. He beat Daigo at, I believe, TGS, Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He beat
okay.
him, yeah.
And he beat some strong players that seem.
Yeah, he's very
He's
good.
really good.
And his funny thing is, I asked Tokido, did you play NL when you were in Korea? He goes, yeah. What did you think about him? He's not so strong. I was like, okay.
Oh.
All right, Tokido. I could have mistranslated it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I asked him, come again?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so strong.
Wow.
And
Damn,
yeah.
shots fired.
Yeah, and I was
Shots
like, all
fired.
right, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool though, cause someone mentioned in the chat, JandyFX messages like, yeah, Infiltration's doing a really good job trying to like bring up like the Korean players like Zaizi, and NL as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So I think that's super cool.
I think it's really great that he, even after he plays his match, or even if his match is next, he goes and coaches those other players.
Mhm,
That's really
mhm,
awesome. That takes a lot of energy.
For sure.
It takes a lot of energy.
He should play against the Korean players like in between rounds. He should be leaning over. You should be doing this. You should be doing this to beat me up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, good stuff.
I body.
With that tournament there.
I body him. I love the way Tokido
Oh,
talks.
I know, me
I
too.
totally missed the 13th place breast panty hip. I mean,
What?
that is. I saw that on stream. I was watching part of it, and I was like, that is a nickname. That is a nickname.
And James would notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a name.
Sorry,
Really?
James. Sorry, James. All right.
Who wouldn't notice this? I mean,
Not me and David.
I didn't intend to
I
miss
saw
it.
See,
Marn.
someone in the chat said that they were cheering for that guy. See, there you go.
They must be Chinese. No, I'm kidding.
What are you? I forget.
I'm Cambodian and 1/8 Chinese.
1/8 Chinese.
1/8 Chinese.
So you're 1/8 corrupted. Then, right?
My puns are 1/8.
Oh, okay, fair
Not that
enough,
strong,
fair
not that
enough.
strong.
Okay.
Oh, man.